So, good afternoon, and what I'm going to cover today is something that I was actually asked by Andrew and Pete, which was we were discussing the other day about how you can find search volume for the keywords that you are looking to maybe rank a video for, and we were talking in particular about videos. So I mentioned to them that I'd actually come across a great little free Chrome plugin. I believe it's also available for Firefox, but I'm a great Chrome advocate. So Firefox is a tool that I think is a little bit dated now, to be honest with you. So I would definitely recommend using Chrome if you have it available. And it's free, as I said. And what it does is, once you've signed up and you've installed the extension, it will allow you to get search volume for, as I said, the keywords that you're actually looking to use. Now, this is really handy because you could optimize a video, or you could be looking for a keyword that you think is really good, has very little competition, but does it actually get anybody searching for it? So this tool kind of alleviates that issue of knowing whether there is actually any search volume for it. Now, it works across lots of different platforms. It's not just a Google, as I mentioned I put on the thumbnail, it's not just Google related. It actually searches for a few other places as well. So I'll run you through all of the different places that can actually be used. Now, I would use it as a guide. So the caveat is just as a guide. I wouldn't do anything more with it. I wouldn't rely on it and say this is a definitive, tool to use. And the reason I say that is I was doing some testing before, and the search volumes that were in Google as opposed to the search volumes in YouTube were exactly the same, which I find a little bit unusual. But then some of the other tools that I use to kind of correlate between the two, there was a bit of disparity there. So yeah, I would use it as a guide, no more than a guide. So I'll show you where to get it from first of all. I'm not going to show you how to install it because I don't want this live stream to be taking up loads and loads of time, and I want people to be able to use it and benefit from it as soon as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is go across to my browser, and it's called Keywords Everywhere. And what you need to do first of all is install the extension. And if you're not sure what a Chrome extension is, it's just something that usually runs in the background of your Chrome browser and allows you to do certain features that add to your browsing experience or give you some data back that's actually really relevant depending on what you use. Now, if I go to the top of my Chrome browser here, you can see I have quite a few different extensions. And the one that we're going to be looking at, as I said, is Keywords Everywhere. And you can find it by just doing a Google search for Keywords Everywhere, or just go to keywordseverywhere.com. And when you first install it, you'll have to put your email address in because you need an API key, which they will email you back really quickly. So they're pretty on the ball with that stuff. And then once you've got the email, which if I click across to my emails, it just comes through. There is actually some training information on there. So the things that I don't cover, because there's a lot more than I've got time to cover today, that you can actually have a look and watch these videos and get a bit more insight. But it's still, I think it's for a free plugin, it's a really, really powerful tool. So you've got your API key. It just takes you through to, if I click through to this page, then obviously your API key can be found at either the top or on section 3 here. And once you've gone across to the actual plugin itself, this is what you'll be presented with. And you need to validate your API key. So if you just pop it in there and then click validate, mine's already done, so it'll just come up and say it is actually valid. You can choose the country. So I would always recommend that you do this depending on where in the world you actually are. So obviously United Kingdom for me. The currency, because it will give you CPC costs, which are cost per click costs. So I could, if I can find it, British pounds, I've just seen it. I've lost it again. British pound. Then you can get it to show you different elements. So it'll show you the volume of searches per month. It'll show the CPC cost if you want it to, and it can also show you the competition. Now, as I said before, it covers a lot of different areas. So you've got Google search, Google Keyword Planner, eBay even, YouTube, Google Search, Bing, Answer the Public, Google Trends, Amazon, Etsy if you're a crafty person. And one of the things that you can also additionally add to it is if you want to set it at a certain level, if you go down to the highlight metrics, hopefully everybody can see that. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see here you can get it to highlight certain search volumes. So if I wanted to say anything that had above 10,000 searches, I would just click the tick box and say above 10,000 searches, and I want it to highlight in whatever color I want to choose. I'm just going to leave it green because that'll work fine for me. Then what I need to do is show add all keywords button, which you can do. These are just, it'll come up with a little pop-up. So what I would suggest is, rather than me go through every single piece of the information on this page, I've gone through the ones that I feel that are actually important. So if you want more information, go through their training videos, which you will receive when you get your email for your API key. So it's all set up now. There's no save button, so it's all done. And then obviously what everybody wants to know is, what does it actually look like? So I'm just going to go through to Google, and I'm going to do a search. You see, I've already done one before. So if I was to do paleo diet, and that's only because that's one that seems to come up all the time. And as you can see here, because I set the highlight, it's highlighted in green, that there are 40,500 searches per month at a CPC cost of 17 pence, because I set it to British pounds being in the UK. The competition, now the competition side of things is not necessarily something that I look at massively, because I do these specifically for YouTube. So it's not quite as, well, what I should say is I use other tools to make sure that, competition wise it works okay for me. So that gives you an indication. As I say, it's monthly, so you can put all sorts of things in here. Now, because Andrew and Pete are actually on here, and not quite sure they're going to be terribly impressed by this, but if I was to put Andrew and Pete and search for them, they're getting 70 searches a month. That's worldwide. So there's no CPC cost. Competition is zero. So if I wanted to put something up there that was related to Andrew and Pete, an affiliate link, etc., yeah, okay, it's small numbers, but that's a direct search for Andrew and Pete. So you've got to think about, are they optimizing for Andrew and Pete? Not necessarily. They might be optimizing for other things. So what I would maybe take is perhaps one of their videos, the title of one of their videos, and stick it in there, and optimize. Again, something that was an affiliate link, a video with an affiliate link embedded, etc., to a topic that they're talking about, and drive some traffic to that, and maybe get some commission off the back of it if somebody signs up for their Atomic membership, which would be absolutely awesome. So watch this space, you never know, I might do something like that. So hopefully this all makes sense. I'm just quickly going to have a look and see if we've got any questions. So yeah, Andrew and Pete have a question. So they said, with the highlight metrics, are they monthly numbers? And as I mentioned before, when you set it, when you set the highlight, you can set everything to be a monthly set. Well, not set it, but when you do the highlight setting, it is all in monthly numbers. So to answer your question, yes, it is in monthly numbers. Okay, let's see if we've got any other questions. As I say, I didn't want to cover this in too much depth, and related to what Andrew and Pete have just said. or what I just said about Andrew and Pete when I was talking before, that their monthly searches were 70. People already know where to find us, which is, that's a legitimate point. So yes, people do usually know where to find them, so they wouldn't necessarily be searching for Andrew and Pete specifically. So yeah, it's a very valid point, gentlemen. I appreciate that. Does anybody else have any questions? What's the name of the extension? Is probably Chris. Okay, so the name of the extension, Chris, I'm assuming it's Chris or Ant from the Podcast Guys, is Keywords Everywhere. So if you just do a Google search for Keywords Everywhere, you should be able to find it. Just sign up and put your email address in, basically, and they will send you an API key. And then when you go into the actual extension itself, you can populate your API key, validate it, and then it will give you the info. As I say, use it as a guide, don't use it as a definitive. What you could maybe do as well is also have a look at the keyword planner if you've got an AdWords account, and you could maybe just correlate the numbers between the two to see how close it is. But it's a good starting point, without you having to go too in depth, because you can also, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see related searches. So it'll give you some numbers there. So what is Canva apparently has come up for putting in a search for Andrew and Pete. So they've obviously done something Canva related. That's getting 390 searches a month. Image Creator is getting 1,300 a month. So as I say, it gives you a pretty good starting point for where you can actually, do some extra research and get some legitimate numbers back to see if it's worth actually pursuing that keyword. So awesome. Guys at Podcast Guys have said, thank you very much. You are very welcome, gentlemen, and it's good to see you on here. So I'll see if there's any other questions. And it was Chris. He's confirmed it was actually Chris from the Podcast Guys. So that's awesome to have you here. People know where, yeah, that's Andrew and Pete. That's cool. Yeah, it certainly is cool. So as I say, this all came about because Andrew and Pete actually wanted to do some research and find out whether it was actually worth optimizing for certain keywords with some of their videos. And I think it's going to give them a bit of an idea, and they've also installed it. Oh, great. Oh, no, that's the Podcast Guys. Sorry, they've installed it. So didn't take you long, fellas. Hopefully you find it really, really helpful. Mel was here briefly, but unfortunately she's got her kids, so she's going to have a look at the video later on. So as I say, anybody's got any questions, just let us know. And I'll try and answer them as best I can. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you want me to cover anything else in a video that is perhaps related to this, or is smartphone video related, or is just video related in general, if there's anything I can actually help you with, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and pop a comment into the comments box, and I shall have a look on any of my videos and see if there's any additional information I can give you. So this has gone a little bit longer than I probably anticipated, because I literally just wanted to quickly show you this, test out some new bits of software so that I could actually find out whether, because this is, to be honest, this is the first time I've actually live streamed to YouTube. I've done plenty to Facebook, but I've never actually done one to YouTube before. So how has it been? Do you want to pop me a comment in and say whether the technology's actually worked for me? Because I've been bitten quite a few times recently when I've been testing some new bits of software and it's just let me down at the last minute. But this particular one I think is working really, really well. So I'm going to say au revoir for now, unless there's any more questions, which it doesn't look like there are. So please feel free to drop any comments in, whether this has been helpful, whether it hasn't been helpful. Please don't do that. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. So thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.